having me. We've been doing the Invention convention since before I started, which was 22 years ago. I know that ages me. It's been going on for about 40 years. So this is an amazing project. It's mostly done at home. Your kids will have more than a month to get it done. It's not due till Wednesday, May 7th. I will be checking in every week, and we're going to go through it, okay? So we'll start with page 1. Excuse me. Okay, on page 1, this is just the purpose of the Invention. It's to create, we want your kids to become problem solvers, like real life problem solvers. We need more of those in this world today. So this is not your typical science fair. They have to create and make a model of something that solves a problem. For an example, this kid got lost in the woods a lot. He never had a compass. He created the shoe compass. He put a compass and a shoe together. Most of your kids will do something like this in Innovation. They'll take two things and they'll make it work. So very simple. I always tell them, look at a paper clip. It's a piece of metal folded. I mean, so simple, and we use them every day, especially as teachers. So we want them to really be inventive, be creative. We want your support in this. We want you to support them, take pictures of them doing it, teach them how to sew. Some parents make them use woodworking tools. Just supervise, please. I don't need Asher losing a finger. Okay, just kidding, Asher. All right, I'm gonna just pick on you something. Sorry. All right. And the purpose is just to be problem solvers. So we're gonna go over logs, the display board. They need to have a working model. And we'll go over all this. And the due date, like I said, is Wednesday, May 7th. We basically take over the gym, and we'll have a night that evening where you can come and see them all. And they do get judged. So I have a science teacher of mine who used to work with me years ago. She works at Heights out, but she comes back and she judges. She doesn't know any of your kids. She does the preschool special ed. And she will come and judge. So we'll give out 10 first place ribbons, 10 second place, 10 third, and there'll be a lot of honorable mention awards giving out 2 ribbons. And then of course the most important thing is the grade from Ms. Acosta and I. And we'll talk about that later. All right, so the PTO and I will be selling display boards. There is a link that I sent out that you can purchase them through there. I have a few tonight that you can buy right from them tonight. But once you purchase one from their link, I can see the spreadsheet and give it to your child. Once they're out, though, they're out. The only color we don't have is green. Green was not available this year, I'm sorry. And the yellow one is a little shorter. I don't know what happened with that one. But anyway, these are the colors. We got black, blue, red, white, and yellow. If you want to go a different route, you can. They're going to be $5, but we'll sell them at the end of this presentation as well. Okay, so this page is the most important page. Your kids will be getting the same spiel or talk tomorrow during their science classes. We didn't do it today because of the shortened periods. But I will be going over this with Ms. Acosta's and all of my classes. And then you guys, once the kids bring this home, this is the most important page. It needs to be signed and returned to your child's science teacher ASAP. That way that I know that you know that we know that I know that you know that we know, and all our butts are covered. Did you get that? Okay. All right. That way that you know and we understand the project. If you have any questions, you can email me or reach out to me or Mr. Costa for questions. All right, next page in the packet. This is a display board example. This basically shows you what needs to be on the board. It doesn't have to be in this order. You can put it in any order you want. It's just an example. You don't have to have that many steps or procedures. It's just an example. Some people only have 3. Do you know what I mean? And the materials used, the title of the invention, your name, guys. I can't tell you, you get 5 points for putting your name on this thing. If I have to look at the back of the board because I wrote your name on the back when I sold it to you, that's a problem. So please put your name on the board. Okay. And then your problem and solution statement. What was the problem? What was the solution? How did you solve it? We're gonna talk about these other things on there in just a minute, okay? You could have drawings, pictures, photos on there. Make it pretty, make it fancy, make it bougie, whatever you want to do, okay? Some of these kids even put lights on them. I'm not sure if that one still works, but they have lights on them. So that's kind of just an example of what a display board needs to have, okay? It explains everything to me, the judges, about how you created your invention or innovation, all right? Any questions on that? Are we good? Pretty self-explanatory. All right, the next page is, oh, how we're gonna grade this. Yes, it's a very large rubric. Sorry. But you can see you get 5 points for your name. Title I mentioned, the display board, the working model. It breaks it down into the logs and all that. So I'm gonna go through each of these parts later. But basically you get 60 points for turning in a working model with your display board. The display board is broken up into about 70 points. The inventor's logs is 60, and that includes the intent to invent and the research, which I'll go over in a minute. So this is how they're going to be graded by Mr. Costa and I. And it's 200 points of their grade at the end of the year. This is their big end of the year project. Okay, and it is individual. Sorry, Ashley, you cannot do this with your buddies. Yeah, I know, darn. I know, they got to do it on their own. All right, so that's the grade sheet. Pretty self-explanatory. Everything's broken down for you. Okay? All right. Brainstorming, this is just for them to put their ideas down on. Okay, what problems do you see around the house? What bugs you? Does your parent lose their keys? Does your pet have an issue? Do you have an issue with cleaning or your remotes? You know, think of issues around your house or even at school. It can be even out in the community. We had a kid once do one for the homeless. You can think bigger on this if you want. It can be a community issue, a school problem, a home issue. But this is just a sheet for them to problem solve and get those ideas down, okay? So you can think about it, go home, be like, what bugs me? Oh yeah, my mom's always losing her keys. Okay, yeah, that's my mom, okay? Hopefully I don't turn into that, just kidding. All right, so that's just the brainstorming page, just to get your ideas down. Mr. Costa and I will kind of be checking in another week with them to see what their ideas are, to see if they're on the right track, okay? All right, the next page, this just kind of gives them, ask yourself these questions. Is my idea a new idea or an innovation? Most of your kids are going to create innovations, like the shoe compass. A true invention is pretty rare. It does happen, but most of them are going to be innovations. Does my idea solve a problem? If it doesn't solve a problem, you're not doing it. Sorry guys, if I tell you no, it's got to solve a problem, okay? How will my invention work? Can my invention even be made? Can I make a model of this? Is the model working the right way? What can I do differently to make it work better? How can I make my model more attractive? And is my invention safe to use? If it's not safe, no knives, no explosives, no fire. Sorry, no, it's got to be safe. Safety first, all right? So that's just to kind of help you with the process of those questions, okay? All right, the next page. These are your logs. These are kind of like your rough drafts. Let's say, Aris, you get an idea at 2 in the morning. You wake up and, oh my gosh, I just jumped to this great idea. I gotta write it down. Use the log to write it down. Okay, draw out some pictures. This is just kind of like for your rough drafts. We've given you about 3 of them in the packet. If you need more, just grab another packet from your Mr. Costa. It's just for them to get their ideas down, and they can maybe pick one. So maybe they have a couple ideas that they get down like a rough draft. The logs need to be included on the board so we can kind of see their process. And then after the logs, so you got about 3 of those. After the logs, so here's like an example. Oh, this is the boot plunger. This is a good one. This kid had a problem with their toilet. And the regular plunger just wasn't doing it. They needed more force. So as you can see, they created the boot plunger. I have it here still, so they can use their force with their foot. Yeah, and I guess it worked for them. They cleared up those toilets. I really cleaned that thing when they gave it to me, don't worry. This is their example that they wrote down for one of their logs. Some kids use pictures on their logs, like a photo, that's fine. You can draw whatever it is, okay? It's just to get your ideas down, your rough drafts of like some of your ideas. So we've given them about 3 of those. And then after the logs, you have your actual getting started. So, like, what is the problem? List some backup problems. What challenges or concerns do you have? This is just a way to get their thoughts down, to help them with that process for their final project. So let's say they pick one they want to do. This is for your actual project you want to do, okay? So that page just kind of has, does it affect people, animals, community? How does the problem affect? Just to get your thoughts down in words. And then the next few pages are draw possible solutions. It's like a page where they can draw it out for their main idea. Okay? The next page, a prototype page. All right, how am I going to make this maybe? You need to use exact dimensions. Maybe they use a ruler or they start figuring it out. Models in science are really important. We want kids to be able to draw what they're thinking and get a conceptual model down so they can make the physical model. Okay, and then the next one is the testing page. How are you going to test this out? List your ideas, draw out a picture, okay, put a photo, all right? And then the last one, that's it. So there's just those 3 pages. This is just for their main idea, to kind of help them get their thoughts down before they put it onto the board. Does that make sense? Okay. And they can use some of these drawings on their board. They can, take a copy of it or cut it out and put it on their board. That's fine too. So those pages are just for their main idea, the one they're going to actually do. The inventor's logs are kind of for their rough drafts to get their other ideas down. They might have 2 or 3 ideas that are really good. They got to pick one. Don't do 5, Asher. No 5. Okay, just one, buddy. All right. I know how he thinks. All right. Okay. All right. So, any questions on those? The logs or the actual? Just help them get their drawings out. Okay. And then the last 2 pages, the intent to invent. This is kind of like their contract with Ms. Acosta and I. This kind of says, hey, you're going to follow science safety rules. Here's, what you're doing, and then they sign off on it. And yes, this has to be on the board somewhere. Now, can they retype it? Sure. They can put it in a Google Doc, they can make it their own, or they can just stick this on the board. Some people make pockets for their logs and their intent to invent. They can do it that way. However your child wants to put it on the board is up to them, okay? So that's kind of like their contract. So yeah, we have a contract with them, yeah. And then the last page here is their research page. We need them to check out to make sure this invention or innovation is not made yet. Now, let's say it's already done. Can they tweak it and make it different? Yes, okay? But they need to maybe check online, go to Target, go to Home Depot, go to Ace, and say, hey, does this thing even exist? They can do a couple online, web searches, but they need to maybe do one in person. And they can turn this into any other Google Doc they want. They can make it their own. I just need to see the 3 areas that they researched. Like, I went to this website, I went to Amazon, I went to Target, I went to Ace, okay? So that has to be on the board with the logs, and they can make a pocket for it and then intent to invent. So when we look back at that second page, for the board examples, you can see the inventor's logs, intent to invent, research. If they want to put it all together in the pocket, that's fine. Again, they can retype it, they can cut them out, whatever they want to do, okay? It just needs to be on the board somewhere so we can see their process and their thought process and how they got to where they were, okay? That's the important part of inventing. And guys, it's trial and error. Your kids are going to get frustrated, I'm sorry. They're going to be like, oh, this didn't work, Ms. Muller. That's the part of inventing that's hard. Do you think Einstein came up with his theories in one day? No. You got to do trial and error, guys. You have to try some out, it may not work. Keep trying. You got to persevere through this. Perseverance is the key for this. And if one idea doesn't work, move on to another one. If you've extinguished this idea, you're like, I just can't do it. Fine, think of something else. It's okay. You're gonna get frustrated, and that's okay. That's okay when you're problem solving. We as teachers get frustrated too. How do I solve this problem? How do I get the buses to come back when they left me with the lunches? Oh, okay, I gotta call them. Just kidding. That did happen actually yesterday. It's fine. We got your kids their lunches. All right. So again, and this is the packet. That's basically it. We have different examples up here. I am going to talk about one more thing here at the end. Let's say you're doing something so big you can't get it into the gym. Oh, my first year I made a big boo-boo. This kid, his parents worked at a wrecking yard, and they invented something that was so tall it was in the back of his mom's truck. We couldn't get it in the building. And I made a mistake about it has to be fit in the building. It should kind of fit in front of their board like this. We can put it on the floor if needed or on a table, but it's got to fit into the gym, please. And let's say you do want to do something that's really big and you can't bring it. That's okay. You can do what's called a scale model. This kid did a cover for his air conditioning unit, and he actually had pictures of it on the board. I don't have the board, unfortunately. But he put pictures of the actual thing on the board, and then he made a scale model of it. And he put that in front of his board. That is fine. As long as I can see actual photos of what they created and you can't bring it in, you can do a scale model. Does that make sense? But most of the stuff it'll sit in front of the board. Or you can attach it to the board. Some kids attach them to the board, and that's kind of cool too. So everyone understand the scale model? If it's too big, please, it's gotta fit in the gym. Please. All right, okay. And then there's a few things I don't really want to see anymore. Remote control pooper scoopers. Oh. We had 20 of those one year. Those are overkill and done. I'm sorry. I love the idea, but no more remote control pooper scoopers. I know. Poop is a serious problem. I have a dog and a tortoise. I get it. But yeah. And then sponge gloves. Oh, and sponge shoes. Those are kind of overdone, you know? So don't just slap some sponges on some gloves. It's kind of overkill. One year I think we had 30 sponge gloves. Now, I can't help it if your kids talk to their friends about their ideas. Could something get copied? Yes. So maybe keep it hush-hush. Maybe not share with your friends, Asher, okay? All right. Because I can't help it if an idea gets copied, or there are going to be similar ideas, unfortunately. But don't worry, we're not going to grade you down for that. But no more sponge gloves or pooper scoopers. I'm sorry. One year we had a Barbie remote control car with a pooper scooper on it. That was pretty cool, but you know, no more. I don't want to see more pooper scoopers. But anyway, that's about it. I think I've hit everything. You can come up. I have some of the inventions or innovations with these boards. You can come up and look at them. Some of the kids kept them because they're still using them. But I have the boards so you can look at them. And the PTO will be selling boards here. I only have so many here tonight. But you can pay cash or card. And then the online option is also available. So you can just do it online, and then once your name's in there, I'll have your kid come to me and I'll give them a board. Okay? Any questions? Are we good? Yes, Lilia.
You're in a Costas class, do you have to do it in Spanish?
No. You can do this project in English. Good question, Lilia. Yes, Mr. Post's class can do it in English. You're welcome. I made that call. Yeah. Yeah. We're not going to make you do it in Spanish. No. It's okay. Like you have to explain the problem, Aaliyah. So you have to explain the problem itself. Do you understand? You have to come up with a name for it. No, it can all be in English, this project, okay? You're good. All right, guys, you have any questions, you can talk to me, come by from the PTO. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.